Welcome to the From Corporate to Good podcast, your guide to building a thriving business in just 5 hours a week. That's a go-to show for ambitious corporate women and new coaches who want to build a thriving coaching business on a limited time. I'm your host, Isaline Jose. I'm a business coach and former corporate project manager. If you are ready to turn your expertise into income while keeping your 9-to-5 job, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're going to dive deep into one of the biggest questions that I get. How do I turn my corporate expertise into a profitable coaching offer? And if you have been thinking about coaching but you don't know where to start, this episode is for you. So let's start. Step number 1, you need to identify your unique expertise. When I first thought of starting my coaching business, I was redoubting myself. I thought, who am I to coach people? I don't have a coaching certification. I don't have years of experience running a business. But then I realized something. I have spent a few years managing high-level projects, solving complex problems, and coaching people to make it happen. I was already coaching. I was just coaching in a different environment. So in order for you to be able to determine what is your unique expertise, ask yourself, what do people always come to you for advice? What problem have you solved over and over again in your corporate career? What is something you know to do that others are struggling with? For me, the answer was really clear. I knew how to take something really complex, create a structured plan, and execute it efficiently. And now that's exactly what I teach my client how to do in their business. Step 2, you need to learn how to define your ideal client. When I started, I made the mistake of trying to help everyone. I was working with corporate employees, entrepreneurs, retirees, students, because I thought that the more people I can help, the better. But actually, this only led to confusion and burnout. Why? Because my first offer was too broad. I was trying to coach everyone on everything from career transition to productivity. And it was only until I really narrowed down my focus to helping corporate women build a coaching business in just 5 hours a week that everything changes. So here's how to get clear on your ideal client. Who do you want to help? And here, I really want you to be super specific. What type of people, what industry are they in? What are the experience level? What are the challenges they are facing? What is their biggest frustration? What is the results that they are desperately looking to get, but are not succeeding to get, and what is in their way? When I got crystal clear on my ideal client, I had achieving corporate women who wanted to start their coaching business but didn't have time. Everything became easier. My messaging resonated, and clients started to come to me instead of me chasing them. And that was a big shift in my business. Step number 3, you need to learn how to create a high-value offer. At first, I struggled to package my expertise into an actual offer. I thought I needed to offer single coaching session or charge by the hours because that's what I saw other coaches doing. But I was wrong. Here's the truth about some things, like people don't pay for session. People pay for transformation, and you cannot get that transformation just by paying one session after the other. You need people to actually commit themselves to get this transformation. Because it's not in one session that you will be able to actually get them the transformation. When I actually stopped selling coaching sessions and instead I created a clear roadmap for my client, helping them go from overwhelmed corporate employees to profitable coaches with paying clients, my business took off. And here's the formula that I use in order to create a strong offer. First, you need a clear outcome. What is the specific transformation that you will get them? Second, you need to have a redefined process. What are the steps that you will guide them through in order to get that outcome? And third, you need a simple structure. How long will you work together? What is included? People need to understand exactly when they're going to get that transformation and what is that going to take them to get that transformation. For example, instead of saying, I will help you start your coaching business, I start switching into saying, in just 12 months, I will help you land your first high-paying coaching client while working just 5 hours a week. Once I had structured my offer like this, it became much easier to sell. People knew exactly that what I was going to deliver was what they wanted, and it changed everything. Step 4, you need to price your offer with confidence. And I know pricing is not your thing. Like many new coaches, I see a lot of you underpricing yourself. And I did the same thing when I started my business because I was afraid of charging too much because I thought, who would pay me that much? But when I launched my first offer and I charged 500 for just like 3-month coaching program, which actually barely covered the time and effort I was putting, I started to feel really frustrated. I actually was not charging enough and I was aware of that. And I started to resent the work. But then I realized something. My expertise was saving my client years of trial and error. I was helping them getting results faster with more clarity than they could get on their own. So I start to consider, and I really want you to start considering, what is the transformation worth to your client? What would they pay to solve this problem on their own? How much time, energy, and frustration are you saving them? When I started to align everything together, I started to see the value of my offer, the value that I was providing. And I started to attract clients who were actually committed and ready to invest in themselves because I started to speak to them. Step 5, you need to learn how to sell your offer with confidence. And I used to think that I needed a website, a perfect logo, thousands of followers before I could sell my offer. And I think a lot of you think the same way too. So I kept waiting, tweaking, perfecting until one day I decided to start talking about what I do. And when I started to speak about what I do, guess what? My first client didn't come from a fancy sales page. They came from a conversation that I was having with them. And they came to me because I share valuable content relating to my niche. I talk about the problem I help them solve, and I invited people to work with me. The more I started to talk about my offers, the more people saw me as a go-to expert. I didn't need it like a complicated funnel. I just needed to show up and tell people how I could help them. And you need to do the same thing. So if you have been waiting for the perfect time to start your coaching business, this is it. You already have the expertise. You just need to package it into a high-value offer and start sharing it to the world. So if you are ready to start right away, make sure to grab my free time mastery toolkit to learn exactly how to build your coaching business in just 5 hours a week, even with a demanding job. DM me time on Instagram or LinkedIn at Isaline Rosier, or grab a free copy inside of the show notes. If you find this episode valuable, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, share it with a fellow corporate woman who needs to hear this, or just take a screenshot and share it on Instagram and tag me. I would love to hear what is your biggest takeaway. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye!